I'm going to make a new audio because there's something wrong with this one. I'm not sure what is going on. Yeah, that's what we need. It was sign language. That's going to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We need
yeah,
the
yeah.
closed caption stuff.
The closed captions, exactly. All right, so I have audio now in 3 different places here. Let me get rid of one because we don't want to duplicate it. Now, can we do, yeah, the audio's still there. Okay, good. Sorry about that, guys. It's been a week of technical snafus with these shows. It's been interesting. It's been keeping me on my toes. And before I started, look, my hair was not great, just so you know.
Should pop in one of those old pictures with dark hair. So
I
this
know.
is how I was yesterday.
That's the way I looked yesterday. I didn't look like this all the time, but oh my God.
It's good, but not that good.
Yeah, not that. I'm going to play this video. This is a conservative. Kind of has a good point, huh?
She's 100% correct. I was thinking this morning, man, there's a rant that I wanted to go on, and it just, good grief. When are we going to get to the point of throwing off this government, right?
Yeah.
Through a long train of usurpations and abuses. Isn't that what's been going on? Like you said, I mean, I saw that there was a clip or a tweet from because when he did that drone strike to take out Soleimani, that you can't do a head war, without congressional approval. But yet here him and the UK are bombing Yemen. We're out of control, and this is going to end up being a really bad situation. I'm not that fear porn guy. I'm not trying to scare, but I mean this could end up being monumentally catastrophic.
Yeah.
There's, at what point? At what fucking point do we say enough is enough?
Well, that's the $1 million question, right? At what point are we going to wake up to it and realize, hey, what's going on here? I think everyone's asking that question, Bruce. The same all around. Everyone we're talking to is saying that.
Yeah, people are saying that the sound is still all messed up. The video was good. That sound, see they hear that?
We're messed up pretty bad, huh?
Yeah, it sounds like I got my voice changer up.
Do you?
Yeah. Yep. I'm trying. I switched the audio and it's still doing that. Boy, we have some challenges with our audio today. Yeah, I have an echo for you, but not for them. I'm just monitoring and seeing what they're hearing. And the audio is seriously messed up. And now there's none. Where there was some, now there's none. Okay. I think we're okay now. I'm monitoring it from here. Okay. Okay. Well, I think we got it back. Whew! Denise says we sound like demons. Oh no, we don't want to be demons. No, please don't make us be that way. All right. So, apologies for the audio issues. I think we've got it now. Video's good, but not you guys. Oh, are you doing that on purpose there, Bruce? I'll never figure it out. You're going to make it impossible for me to troubleshoot issues if you do that. Okay. Shall we get into our top 10 list? I think Lewis is trying to log in. Okay. Yeah, it's just the regular link that we use. We use the same link all the time for what we're doing. So cool. Excellent. Deep breath, my friend. Deep breath. It's been one of those days where I just can't seem to get the day on the right track. It's been going 10 different directions, but I'm okay. I roll with the punches. I'm really good with that. We're going to talk about, this is Tara Bull's list here. We're going to go through that because that is, he's de-aging as we speak. Yeah, well, you're lucky you. I've got the heater on here. Okay, I see messages coming in. Is anything good both now, both video and audio? Thank you. All right, So I'm going to see if we can get Tara Bull on here. I don't know if she'll come on, but I'll certainly put the request out there because we use her list every week. So number 10 on our list, German railways join the farmers and truckers to protest against the government. That is not accurate. Tell me what I'm missing. The railways are not protesting along with, they're protesting at the same time, but they're protesting for pay issues. Yeah. Yep. Different issue. Yeah, it was kind of confusing because everyone had thought, oh well, it's the same thing. They're joining in. It's great. It's wonderful. But if you dig into the story, you find out that they're striking for financial reasons, which is interesting. And I'll have Lewis queued up here in just a moment. He's standing by so patiently. Wow, he's sitting by so patiently. And there he is taking a nap, just so gingerly. How are you, Lewis? Good to see you. We changed it only because of the way we're streaming to Bruce's channels. We switched it out to a different method and seems to be a little bit more reliable than what we were doing before. And the voice and all that is in sync on his channel. So sorry about that. Whatever it takes. We're always growing. You know, the truth of the matter is we do these shows and we learn and we try to raise the bar every time. And you know, we get better and better as the weeks go on. Be kind of fun a year from now to go back and look at our first shows and look how much we've changed, because sometimes the changes are subtle, you don't recognize them, but then you go back over time and you, whoa, we made a lot of changes. That one I didn't figure out. We've come a long way, absolutely. That's odd, because all the audio would be going at the same time as the video. No Bruce, no Lewis. You're the biggest part of the conversation is. Ah. I'm going to have to do something to keep this going. Yeah, I got to fix it. I don't know. Yeah, literally, I'm going to have to do that. Well, so apparently, folks, you can't hear either Bruce or Lewis, which is a little annoying. We're working on it. We'll figure it out. We always do. That is. Oh. Hey. Bruce, give me some audio. Talk to me a little bit, and I can see if it's. And of course, we can't hear you say that on the channel.
Herms. So yeah, they didn't need to hear me start my rant. Of course, you can't really say that on the channel.
I am seeing, and I'm seeing Lewis now on Wirecast where I wasn't seeing it before, so maybe it's going to come through. Let's just
check. 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2.
No, now it's off again. You're there, it's just horrible.
God bless America.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Leave it some kind of sound.
I'm going to take the pressure off. I'm going to bail.
Okay.
I got this to do, and I'm going to sit back and pray first, and hopefully this gets better, guys. Thanks, Les.
Okay, we have... All right.
You and Chad are hilarious.
Oh, they are. They are.
Just a moment here.
My OBS is dark.
Yeah, it should be right now. It should be black, but it should not lose the connection.
Oh, yep, there it goes. Come back.
Yep. Okay, so my audio is sounding better. Okay. Oh boy, what a day. There's never a dull moment over here, is there?
I think we're good.
You think so?
I don't know.
Let
Me talking on there.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of people bouncing from platform to platform.
No, it's any platform is going to be the same. So we're sending the signal.
Right.
So I rebooted Wirecast, shut it down, started it up again. Now it's working. So go figure.
Take 2.
Take 2, ladies and gentlemen. Take 2. Thank you for being here because we enjoy you on a Friday. All right. New York City parents outraged as school is used to house 2,000 illegal immigrants. Would you be outraged by that if they kick your kids out of school so they could put the illegals in there?
Yeah, remote learning. I mean, this should, if this doesn't piss people off, I mean, this is why it's so important for people to help us and participate in the Take Back Our Border convoy that's going to be going on here in a couple weeks, because this is ridiculous. I mean, it's to kick kids out of school, remote learning, and that's just in New York. It's all over the place. I mean, Chicago O'Hare, they've cordoned off some of the airport there to be able to house the illegals, and they're spilling over into the main terminal. I mean, this is a completely unsustainable. When, like I started before the sound was all messed up, I started this, when are we going to have enough? When are people going to stand up? When are we going to throw off this tyrannical bullshit government, right? That's our right and our duty through a long train of abuses and usurpations. I think that's what's going on right now. This Declaration of Independence stuff needs to be activated, because this is ridiculous. I mean, if any white hats are listening, if there are any white hats doing any fucking thing, we the people have had damn enough. Maybe that's what they're needing, more people to get pissed off in the streets, like that first story you talked about in Germany. I don't know. It's infuriating. It really is. But then what is our options? What do we do? How do we combat? We sit back and take it up the ass like we do all the time. Help, I'm beyond that. That's why I've chosen me personally. I'm not participating in their system. I'm trying to live my best life, but it's emotionally taxing following the news and seeing what's going on and seeing people with so much apathy that they don't care about what's going on. It's ridiculous. When? That's my question. When are we going to have enough? When is enough enough? Arg. I mean, the whole current thing going on with the whole the Austin thing.
Trying to solve the echo issues.
It's crazy. The whole thing, it's a complete failure. Everything. I mean, that's what's so fantastical about this whole thing is every single area of our society is crashing and burning at the same time. I mean, that's the only thing that gives me any hope or solstice is the fact that it's probably a divine situation, because everything falling apart and crashing and burning at the same time has to be some type of divine situation to be able to do something. I mean, I don't have all the answers. Most of the time I don't have any answers, but it's coming to a point. I saw a clip on X the other day. Some guy was talking to somebody at some meeting. It was Kirk was the name of the person they were talking to. They didn't show that guy. They just showed the other person. He says, "Hey, I got a serious question. When?"
Oh no!
He said it wasn't a joke. He's like, at what point? That's the thing. At what point do we, can we hold back?
We're there in so many ways, Bruce. It's so many people are starting to think that way now because they're seeing no action on the part of the government. And I've been saying this forever. There will be a response when these issues come and land in your lap. And they are right now. The immigrant issue is landing in people's laps. It's not just Texas. It's not just Arizona. It's not just California. These people are being bussed and flown into cities all around the country. And when you start to see that, it's there. It's on every street corner, right? And now your kids are getting kicked out of school to make room for these people. They're getting, Bruce, 2 years. 2 years of paid hotel, free rent, free food, 3 meals a day for 2 solid years. Your veterans don't get that. Your seniors don't get that. Your students don't get that. I mean, if you're not outraged now, I don't know when you're going to be, right?
Yeah, you stop giving them your money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the number thing. They derive their just power from the consent of the government. I don't consent anymore. That's why I have made my personal choice. I'm not sending a red penny to the federal government. I'll go ahead and sit right here. If you want to come. I am not filing my income tax anymore to the federal government. They can go fuck off as far as I'm concerned. It's ridiculous. They're the money that we give them, or that they steal from us, that they extort from us through fear and intimidation of being able to take your bank account, take your shit, take your house, your car, whatever damn thing else. I don't own my house. I don't own my car. The bank owns my car. They let me keep driving it as long as I keep making the payment.
That's right. I don't own exactly.
I don't own shit.
Yep.
Right. So you can't get blood out of a turnip. My mom always used to say. It's ridiculous.
Your mom was right.
People have to make their own decisions, but I mean, anybody who continues to go ahead and file a 1040 form and gladly send your money to the federal government isn't the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Well, this goes along with number 8, the international group of lawyers. They joined forces to oppose the WHO's power grab. I don't know if you saw the video on that, but it is stunning. I was trying to capture a good quality. I found one, but it wasn't a very good quality video. I was trying to get a video of it, but we'll probably have it for the Monday show. All the things that the WHO has planned for us. Number one thing that they said is we need to stop obeying all the U.S. laws, stop obeying the Constitution. We need to throw that aside. We need to completely throw it out and start all over again, because they want a one world government. So that means that the sovereign nation of the United States would no longer exist. It would be part of the bigger collective. And all the rules, all the laws, all the freedoms, everything that we have would be managed by, strangely, the WHO. World Health Organization is now going to manage everything. And remember, the Biden administration wants to give them power. I think that's, ultimately what they're hoping doesn't happen, but will happen in this country if they push that. So, it was kind of chilling. And the woman who was reading that, the list of things, it was just like one after another. It was like, shock, no, it's crazy. But this is the way they are thinking.
Yeah, I saw this story. I mean, this is probably a culmination of this thing, but a couple of months ago, there was a group of Harvard lawyers, right? That's some think tank or something they needed to go in this direction and get rid of the Constitution. And essentially that's not going to happen. We the people.
The question.
It could happen. If we the people continue to continue to lay down and take it up the backside.
Well, you know what?
Hey, yeah.
I think, Bruce, if it does happen, I think it won't happen without a massive rebellion in this country. I think we will end up in civil war here, right? So I think that's what we got to pay attention to, because it's like if they do push this through, which they're trying. I mean, that's their goal. I, like you, I don't believe it'll get quite that far. I think the thing is falling apart right now. If we look at just, gosh, we're the 12th day of January, and we've had more news to cover in these first 12 days than, half the year last year. There's already so much going on. For the first time, I can honestly say I'm actually having trouble keeping on top of all the big stories, because there's so many big stories.
Yeah.
I'm going down this list of top 10, and it's like, boy, I missed that one. I missed that one too. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Usually we're out front. We already talked about all those, but yeah,
exactly. Aaron Rodgers suspended from ESPN's The Pat McAfee Show after his Epstein comments about comedian Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
What say you?
So yeah, they were having him on. He's injured. He's out for the season. Got hurt in the very first game. Anyway, yeah, he was on there, and that was about the same time or day or two after the Epstein list came out. And I didn't see the show or how it came about, but he started railing and blasting Jimmy Kimmel for being on the list, and it started a whole big kerfuffle. And they cut the interview short, and now he's suspended. He's not allowed to be on ESPN anymore. ESPN is owned by, ABC and Disney. They're the kings and queens, the queens rather, of diversity, equity, inclusion, all that stuff. The wokeness, ESPN. It's horrible. That's why I haven't even watched sports hardly in the past few years. It's just becoming, the commentary. I mean, it's ridiculous. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he was, kudos COVID thing. He's not taking the backs, and people were giving him all kinds of crap because he was going on ayahuasca ceremonies and psychedelic mushroom stuff, and he's standing his ground, and he still played where other people got suspended and different things. So Aaron Rodgers is standing up, and he's a voice of truth in that craziness known as the sports realm.
So funny how people who are brave enough to stand up are the ones getting slapped around. It's completely backwards from what it would normally be. And I've been telling people on Telegram, and people have been emailing me, and what's going on? And, I get those kind of emails all the time. I said, it looks to me, and Bruce, you can agree or disagree with this one. It looks to me like the shoe is starting to go on the other foot. The pendulum is starting to move in the other direction. We're starting to have some wins here because more and more people are becoming aware.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's the good thing about what's going on is there's more disclosure. More people are aware of the BS, of the corruption, of the lies, of the propaganda, and a lot of that has to do with us people. We the people are the news now. People shows like ours and other people's. There's tons of them. On Rumble now, more people now are getting their news off of Rumble and X than they are from any of the mainstream, legacy type media. And X is a huge disclosure or dissemination of this type of information.
We've both become fans. I mean, like I said, I had not been using it for the longest time, and then Elon bought it, and it took a little while, but all of a sudden it became good again. You know what I mean?
It's become there's all kinds of good stuff. I mean, just like any other social media, there's fake, phony, and false stuff, and you can learn to kind of discern some of that stuff. But I mean, I spend a lot of time now on X. I love listening to going in the spaces that they have. They're like an audio type of live stream where you can speak and listen to people and hear different viewpoints. And I can kind of gauge, where people are at. You get a bigger sense of a different population because sometimes we tend to be in this echo chamber of the people that we hang around with, the people, our partners. I don't like to call them followers or subscribers. Our partners in the truth-seeking situation that we're in. But listening to hearing other viewpoints outside of our circle helps to reinforce, and helps to see where we are. I believe, this is just my viewpoint, unpopular as it might be, is that us, the people that the SBGs, the Renegade Media News, Unpopular Viewpoint, that type of group, those people that are in our chats all the time, our partners, we are heads and shoulders above most of the rest of the population as far as our knowledge and understanding of the situation going on, right? And so that's, some of the, leadership. Lewis is, he's been like that keel on the sailboat. I'm the emotional guy, man. I'm all over, up and down, up and down. I get pissed off figuratively. But, and then he's, keeps everything calm and pointing in the right direction. But listening to some of these people on the spaces and following some people on Twitter, I'm trying to, get it out there and, build things up. But yeah, we are heads and shoulders above most of the population from what I'm seeing.
We really are, and we need more of these channels and these outlets. And if you think about what Twitter's original goal was under Jack Dorsey, right, before all the censorship and before the thing went crazy, what was it really? It was your opportunity to keep a pulse on society, right? They called Twitter
the town square.
It was a town square, and Google and all these companies would take every single Twitter post and index them. It was called the fire hose. They would connect to Twitter, and everything was posted on Twitter was indexed. This is before all the censorship, obviously, and it gave you a good idea. All the media was involved in it because they knew when something happened, it would show up there before it would show up anywhere else. So we had this tool. And then they went crazy with all the censorship and banning President Trump. And I bailed on it. I think a lot of people bailed on it at that point. And then Elon bought it, and it's kind of turned a corner. Is it perfect? No. True Kells in the chat room is saying that she still can't get her account back. And there are a lot of people who said that. They still can't get their account back. But, for those of us, I guess, who are still able to play in there, it's been fine.
Yeah, I say keep trying.
Keep trying.
Start a new one.
Yep.
And you put your thing out there, and I'm at Bruce Poppy 1776 on X, formerly known as Twitter, and yours is what, Robert?
At Robert Imbriali. Very simple, just my name. I don't hide. Number 6, Trump ballot eligibility charges. This is a guy who had sent in multiple tax returns, right?
I think the number was 17, if I remember.
That was great. Yeah, it's just, yeah. Was it a mistake?
Yeah, this is the guy that's behind trying to get Trump off the ballot in multiple states.
Yep.
And then now all of a sudden, he's been arrested.
It turns out that he's doing more things than just trying to get Trump off the ballot. Okay, well, there you go. James O'Keefe exposes secret migrant camps with an elaborate network of bus and air transport in Phoenix. This is a story I missed. Did you catch this one?
I saw some of it on X. Yeah, he's been following buses. They call it a high-speed chase on X. And there was just a slow roll. But yeah, he's out there, doing stuff. And he's kind of a little bit late to the party, if you will, because there's many other people who have been the frontline peoples, sharing the information about what's going on. Mm-hmm. And more people are out there better. I mean, Alex Jones recently was out there, stopping a car. They had a bunch of kids in the back of it, some hatchback, vehicle, bunch of kids stuffed in the back of this vehicle, not in car seats or any type of safety restraints or whatever. Those guys are, later to the game, but people like Ben Bergquam from Real America's Voice.
Yeah, he's really good.
The Michael Yan. Michael Yan has, been down there into Darien Gap, telling it. There's a guy on X called Muckraker. He's bringing all kinds of fantastic, good stuff. So, I mean, more and more people are, bringing out that information. The more, the merrier. And that's why we're doing this, Save Our Southern Border, the convoy, right? That's why we're doing that. If you have that website, I don't remember off the top of my head.
I don't have it. I wasn't prepared for this, which is rare. I'm usually prepared when things are being promoted. Like, I know where the buttons are.
But it was an idea by John Alexander of Live Border News that Lewis has been down there with, and I'm having a complete brain fart here. I'm not remembering the website. I thought I saved it on my bookmarks.
Okay, well, we'll catch up with it because we'll go on to the next story.
Yeah.
You got it? Or you don't have it?
No, I don't. Go ahead.
Okay. Statewide investigation in Michigan reveals a city clerk reported a woman depositing registration forms. They told the FBI, and the FBI said, what now? What'd they do to her? Exactly. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's almost like she works for us. What did you expect to have happen, right? Oh boy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is unbelievable the times that we live in. We're going to look back and say, how did people put up with this, right? How come we didn't say anything? How come we didn't take action? This is like so blatant. It's right in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, because that just shows you how effective the MK Ultra, the brainwashing, the all these different things that are happening. It's been, the programming is super, super thick, man. And it's taken people a long time to wake up.
It surely is. And it's really interesting to see, even with all this information that's coming out, all these investigations, and it's popping. There's so many more now than there have been, right? They're just coming up more and more. And you think, wow, 2020 was what, almost 4 years ago now, right? In November, it'll be 4 years since this happened. And the information is just now coming out on so many levels, and people still are not willing to believe it. Because what? Yeah. CNN repeated it again and again and again.
Baseless.
And again.
It's the baseless. Lie. It's There's no evidence.
It's the big lie, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they got into that, and they believe that it's a big lie. And once people make up their mind about something and they honor it and they say, this is part of me, this is what I believe, it's really hard to get them to turn the corner and see it the other way. Because you're asking them to do a complete 180 on it, they're not going to do it. Not that easily.
No, I mean, the old quote from Mark Twain: "It's easier to fool somebody than to convince them they've been fooled."
They've been fooled, exactly right. Yep.
So I mean, that's exactly where we're at here. And you talk about this gal in Michigan, the city clerk. I mean, the Michigan is turning into a shit show. The GOP, the establishment up there, they're getting ready to kick out their GOP chair, because they're all up in arms because they've lost every election ever since Trump, and so they're blaming it on Trump. The establishment. I mean, this fight for 2024 is not over.
Oh,
I mean, the machine that we're up against, that's why they have to. This is
the 2024 election. Do you really think we're going to get that far?
I don't think so. No, I'm the more as time goes on, and we're, like you said, we're 12 days into the year, and there's everything is crashing and burning all around us. I mean, the Democrats know that if this goes forward, that they're gonna get their ass handed to them. So they're trying to stop it. Who knows? I mean, that's the people that say the White Hat's in control. I mean, I'm struggling with that. Quite being 100% honest, man. I'm struggling. They're all 100% in control, and this is a movie. Military is the only way. I'm just, what? I got questions, and nobody can give me any answers.
Well, let's throw it to the chat room, and let's see what the chat room has to say. So everyone in the chat, whichever channel you're watching on, and make sure you're following the channel you're watching it on, by the way, tell us, do you think there will be an election in November, or will there not? Yes or no? Just type in yes or no in there. We'll have a look in a few seconds because we're 15 seconds ahead of when you actually hear us on there. So we'll give it a moment or two and type in, do you believe there will be an election in 2024? Yes or no?
Yeah, unofficial, unscientific poll.
Unscientific, but it's good to see where people are at too, to see if they're believing it. New elections within 120 days, Terry Lynn says. Master Baggy says no. Denise Mom 28 says no. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's 100% on the no here. So fantastic. No, all the way down the list. Yeah, this is very good.
And Barb says maybe. I'm a cop out.
Maybe. That means you could be right either way.
Yeah.
It's
Come
like
on, take a stand.
It's like somebody says, Bruce, how was your day? And Bruce says, it was unbelievable.
Right. And that's true.
Which way?
I mean,
up or down?
Yeah. It's all about perception, too.
Tucker Carlson accuses Nikki Haley of being a Trojan horse of the Democratic Party.
She's just establishment as establishment gets. I mean, the neocon warmonger propped up by the military-industrial complex doesn't know why the Civil War was started. I think there's a really good reason that Trump gave her the nickname Bird Brain.
Let's see what Vivek has to say.
And that's why I'm here. He's not mincing words, this man, huh?
I mean, he's amazing. I mean, he's got a future for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, he's got some funky stuff in his background that people have brought up. Who knows? Everybody has shit in their background, right? I got stuff in my background. It all, what are you doing now?
Lots of flags in your background right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's the guy out there willing to say anything, right? He doesn't pull any punches.
Well, he's telling you like it is. He's not. Yeah, he doesn't pull any punches, which is he's like Trump Jr. or something, Trump light,
Right. Yeah. Wouldn't that be some shit though? Because Trump was on that town hall that crushed the debate between the two other people for a rating rise. That he already knows who his VP is going to be. Wouldn't that be some shit if he comes out and says Nikki Haley? Heads would explode on the MAGA side.
Yep. No, it would have to be Carrie Lake or Kristi Noem or somebody at least closer to his thinking. Nikki Haley's a Democrat. I'm sorry. It's just and
I know.
People have been saying it here too. I've been watching here. Watching in the chat room. She's a rhino. She's a WEF grad. They know. People know. You can't hide this stuff anymore. Thank God for social media. Can't tell you.
Yeah, they even Bar B says, but he seems to be stumping for Trump. I'm cautiously optimistic, but same as what she says. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the whole Nikki Haley thing you're talking about, Rand Paul comes out today. I think it was today, revealing a website, Never Nikki. He's going to do everything he can to make sure it's not Nikki Haley. He didn't say who he's going to endorse, but he came out with this website, Never Nikki.
He announced he was going to announce something yesterday, so that's what it was. It's a political action committee, right? It's a PAC.
I'm not sure if a PAC, but it's a website you can go to. I don't know about the PAC and details behind it, but yeah, it's a nevernikki.org. You can go there, and he's doing everything he can to make sure that she is not doesn't get anywhere near any political power.
Well, I think the truth of the matter is we have to really pay attention to is remember these elections are selections, not elections, and she would not have a chance. He said if you elect Biden, there'll be open borders. He said it. He knew it. Nah, that'll never happen. Never said, no, never happen. 15 million plus people later, guys, it's happened. Now, we don't need to tell anyone watching this show that. They know that, right? But there are a lot of people out there who still don't know. Still not quite sure. But they're waking up because now they're looking on their street corners. They're looking and they're seeing these people. And what happens when these people get hungry?
They're already going door to door in New York asking for food.
Yep.
I've seen multiple posts on X, people talking about that.
Yep.
That's the whole thing. They're coming in. I mean, this is an untenable situation. This is going to be the thing. If anything, I talked about my frustration.
Oh
with
no!
the White
Don't
Hats
do that, Bruce. This is going to be the thing. The thing.
Yeah, the thing.
No, don't do that to us.
We'll get into that in a little bit later. But the Eagle Pass thing, that could be the trigger, because there has to be some type of trigger for the military to come in and take control, right? They just can't, get a hair up their ass and decide, enough's enough. Come out on television. We're shutting this thing down. It's all been bullshit. They just can't. They can't do that. They have to follow law and orders type of situation. That could be the trigger between the federal government and the National Guard down there in Texas. I mean it's exciting at the same time. It's a little bit fearful.
Yeah, it's a little bit uncertain because you don't know exactly where it's going to go.
Uncertain is a better word than fearful.
We'll get into that story because we've got some stuff to share on that. Number one, officials warn Hezbollah may attempt a strike at the United States, yet our borders remain open.
Yeah. I mean, how many times recently, Mr. What's his name? Christopher Wray. Yeah, all kinds of red letters, read this, read that, DevCon, whatever. There could be this and that and the other with our attacks and the whole Israel-Hamas thing and now us attacking Yemen.
Yeah.
We know it's 100% their cells.
And people are blown to bits. And it's just, you can see the videos of it we've seen in the past. And it's like, there is no warning, So we gotta do something here, people. We gotta do something. This is not good. All right. That is number one. So that is it for that. We want to tell you a little bit about screwbiggov.com. Invite you to go over to that website, Lewis's website. Lewis is kind enough to allow us to stream on his channel, even with all these technical issues today. We may get kicked off after this, but we do our best, right? So I'm going to send you over to screwbiggov.com and go have a look at what Lewis has got there. He's got Remember Your Oath. So if you're not signed up, please get signed up for that. It is free, and it will help you and I and all of us come together and really support those civil servants to do their job and uphold their oath. Also, the swag buttons down there, that means you can get swag and beautiful t-shirts and jackets and all kinds of cool stuff like that. And if you want to find Lewis on social media, you have the social media button there. Just click that and you'll find all links to wherever Lewis is at on social media. And he's actually adding more accounts now, so he'll be in more places. It's interesting when people get on social media, Bruce, what they do is they kind of like one. I know people who are just like, I only do Instagram, and there are people who only do X, and there are people who only do Facebook. And it's interesting that we kind of have to, for us, we need to be on as many platforms as possible to be able to reach our entire audience. It's interesting how that works.
Yeah. I mean, just being one guy behind a microphone, I got multiple tabs. I mean, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Gab, Getter, Clout Hub, X, LinkedIn, TikTok. I mean, there's just so many, and to be able, I would be able to do nothing else.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite? You have a favorite? X, right?
My favorite my current favorite is X. Yes.
Okay. Good.
TikTok is a close second, and then Rumble is where all the cool kids hang out. So. Yes.
You want to reach us? Email robert@renegademedia.tv. I know many of you do. Thank you for that. Bruce Poppy is Bruce Poppy at switch-usa.com. Important that you know how to reach us when you have something you want to share, some comment you want to make. Did you like the Darth Vader sound earlier today? It wasn't intentional.
I mean, I don't know where that came from. I mean, did you figure out what it was? It was just a glitch in Wirecast once you restarted it?
Yeah, I just restarted it and it went away. So sometimes software will do that. Sometimes it'll glitch and you have no idea what's going on. It is, if you know everything that goes on in the computer, it's a miracle these things actually turn on. You know what I mean? All the different companies that are involved in putting this together and all the apps and all the plugins.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I got questions about this too. I mean, certain people in our movement, and if 45 is still commander-in-chief, I mean, is the only commander-in-chief of certain parts of it, and he's letting this happen for what reason? I don't know. These are questions. I just got to be honest, everybody says, we said it all the time. Yeah, we believe, according to laws and orders and executive orders and things like that, that Trump is the commander-in-chief of our military. But, yeah, and he came out with a statement. Did you see that one on X?
Yeah.
There was the 28-second video.
I don't have it.
Talking about, I got it pulled up right here.
Okay.
I see it.
Pull it up, my friend. See what we got.
Pulling. Well, that's not what it was advertised to be.
Oh, I hate that kind of thing.
But I mean, he did come out against I think there was a post on Truth about the Yemen situation. He made a comment. So. It's crazy. So I mean, if that's the question I have for those type of people that are real, if he's the commander-in-chief, how is this happening?
Because
those are just rogue.
The only thing that makes sense in all of this is that he's commander-in-chief, but only parts of the military see him as that.
Right.
Right. And
well, like the Cheyenne Mountain.
Right. Well, and we've been hearing over and over that there's quite a divide in the military between those that see Biden as the commander-in-chief and those that see Trump that's commander-in-chief. And there's feuding among the military, and that may explain the stalemate that's why nothing is happening. Because the military, if they're there to protect our borders, that's really their mandate, to protect our borders from enemies, foreign and domestic. Well, we've had 15 million people come across the borders. If that doesn't trigger them to do anything.
Yep, that's a big failure.
I would say.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's why the National Guard down there. That's probably the biggest story of today.
Yeah,
the last couple of days is that situation there.
Yep. I don't know how it goes from here. Will the National Guard back down, Texas back down and pull the National Guard out? Who really is in charge of the National Guard? Because they are controlled by the state, right? So the Texas National Guard, so Texas controls it, the state controls it. The feds don't have any control, but the feds would theoretically have jurisdiction over that area because they could say, well, it's the border and that's our job to protect the border. And they could kick them out. But it's interesting that he sent them down there and they're armed. I haven't seen that before. Normally they go down there in a paper pushing mode and they clean cars and they bring lunch and they help process the illegals into the country. But this is the first time I've actually seen the National Guard show up armed.
Well, the National Guard that show up unarmed, that was over in Arizona.
Oh, it was Arizona? Okay.
I was reading somewhere that a state representative, politician in Arizona was putting forward a bill or trying, because that's what it's kind of a law there, that their National Guard is not armed. So they're essentially, like you said, processors. But again, there's the executive orders and different things, that the National Guard has been federalized so that they take over, the commander in chief can take over the command of the National Guard of every state if they've been federalized through some national emergency. So there's more questions.
Well, it was said that Trump did federalize them because, as our friend Derek Johnson has been saying for a very long time, that we have National Guard serving outside of the country. They're not supposed to serve outside of their state, and they've been sent overseas. Because the conflict we're in is not just an American one. We tend to be myopic about that. But the truth of the matter is it's global in nature. Right?
Yeah.
So
there's it's I'm just waiting to see how things unfold.
Someone was asking me about that today, and I said, we don't tend to jump to conclusions without enough information. So we're seeing this right now, and it's like it'd be, some people might come out and say, this is exactly what this means, and we'll say, well, let's wait on it a little bit. Let's wait for it to unfold, because we may not know what the full and complete meaning is until we see more. And in this case, I really want to see more. This just started yesterday, so there's a lot happening here. And I posted a longer Fox News clip on Renegade Media on Telegram on this story that someone's actually down there. One of the reporters is actually down there in this 47-acre park that the National Guard has taken over. And they were blocking,
they actually kicked the feds out.
They kicked the feds out. They won't let them in. They put a fence all around it, and they said, you can't come back in. So now the feds are suing Texas to get access again. That broke just about an hour ago. So again, if it goes to the courts, it may take weeks before we find anything. Maybe there'll be a rush judgment. Maybe they'll have something in a few days. But it's certainly a situation worth keeping an eye on.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the courts. Yeah, I mean, there has to be some type of rapid situation because of the imminent danger that potentially can happen down there.
Right.
If this has to be decided by the Supreme Court. And I don't know, I haven't heard or seen any constitutional, scholar type people that say, hey, yes, states are in control of their own borders, or is it a federal situation on an international border? Is that
states are in control if they declare an invasion? So that's the prerequisite from what I understand. If they can declare an invasion, that's why Carrie Lake had been, campaigning on. She said on day one she was going to declare an invasion that would then give her the power to shut down the border. So that's how they get around the federal thing.
Didn't Abbott declare an invasion there?
I thought he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't be able to activate the National Guard in the way he is unless
without emerging.
Yeah.
Right.
So...
But the funny thing, he signed that law about regular law enforcement being able to arrest illegals, but you can't do it until March.
Yeah.
You got to push it off.
Yeah. It doesn't start until March 5th. So, yeah, you figure that one out.
Yeah.
Still more than 60 days out before it starts having any impact. We'll get another 10 million in by then, right? We're rushing to get them through.
No, yeah. Another trillion in spending.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. So the FBI is defying a court order. No, really? That wouldn't happen, would it?
This has been going on for years.
Yep. They defied a court order refusing to turn over Seth Rich evidence to the attorney. Attorney Ty Clevenger is the Bulldog attorney who has been after the DOJ and the FBI for years to get. The next
thing, if you're not looking at it and you're not willing to stand up and say something, I mean, you don't have to go all crazy, hair on fire, protesting like crazy like that. But I mean, just standing up and saying no more, just saying no. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to. I mean, this is with the school thing that we talked about in New York. Them closing down the schools, the illegals. There's a lot of Democrats who are saying, "What the hell? What do you mean?" So that's waking them up on that sense.
Yep.
So this is all a process until we get to a point, and I don't know what that point is. Here in the United States, it's completely different because the propaganda and the media has such a stronghold on people's minds and psyche.
We're winning that war too.
Oh yeah,
we're winning.
It's very, very
war.
slow.
As CNN is even starting to report that there's an invasion, right? We're starting to see it break through.
Right.
And I mean, I don't
watch the names. Absolutely.
Yep.
No, you're 100% correct. But I haven't watched any of the mainstream. Are they talking about this Germany thing on CNN or MSNBC?
No, they'll talk about that. But the messaging is starting to slip through. It is in all social media. No matter how much they try to censor, stuff is still getting through.
Right. And that's why their approval rating is lower than a belly of a snake. The media's approval rating is lower than Congress, and Congress is pretty freaking low.
What's it, 9%? Congress is really, really low. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but that's why, we have a chance, and I did find the website finally. We do have a chance. We the people, every single person watching this can share this out and talk about this.
You want to screen share it and talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming up very, very soon is the Take Back Our Border convoy. We've seen the People's Convoy, the truckers that went to D.C. We've seen the Ottawa thing, how impactful that was. And we see what's going on in Germany with all these tractors. So now we, the people, have had enough with the southern border. So we, the people, are taking our border back. You can go to this website, takeourborderback.com, takeourborderback.com. It's a peaceful assembly. Convoy begins out of Virginia Beach, Virginia on January 29th. It'll come down to Jacksonville, over to Baton Rouge, and then on February 3rd, there's going to be 3 different rallies at the same day in 3 different locations, one in San Diego, California, one in, now it's going to be Yuma, Arizona. They have to change that. Lewis just called today. They're changing Tucson to Yuma, Arizona. They're going to update this website soon. And then Eagle Pass, Texas, where we were just talking about, the National Guard took over the park there. So they're huge rallies. And this is what we're doing here. We're calling, where's the readout? Oh, it's up top. But go to this website and you can put your email in here to support. You can, if you want to make a donation, if you're not able to join the convoy, you can make a donation because it's expensive to put these things on. But yeah, calling all truckers, bikers, law enforcement, veterans, military, elected officials, business owners, ranchers, and freedom-loving Americans. It's time now for we the people to peacefully assemble in honor of our constitutional rights, to call on our government to take action and secure our borders. Make your voices heard. TakeOurBorderBack.com. There's some videos there. There's some dates. Things are still a fluid situation as we're trying to finalize all these deals. I will be in Arizona. I'll be joining the convoy in Jacksonville on the 28th or 9th. Or maybe the 30th, joining them in Jacksonville, and then joining the convoy across into Texas, and then I'll be breaking off of there from the Eagle Pass thing, heading out to Yuma, Arizona for that thing on the 3rd. But yeah, go to takeourborderback.com, takeourborderback.com. Put your email in there and get updates, or check back to the website, put it on your browser, bookmark it, takeourborderback.com. It's going to be huge. This is going to be epic. This has been planning for months. People know Mark Anthony, John Alexander, were the ideas behind it, but there's other people, bigger, larger organizations involved in helping to facilitate all this. But we need you. We need you, we the people, to get off your butts, get in the car and come join us, or support. There is going to be some live stream action, on our different channels, I'm sure. But yeah, get to takeourborderback.com. It's huge.
I'll be participating in the San Diego stop. So I'll be there for that. That'll be cool. Can't wait. Got some bad news to share.
What's that?
It's only temporary bad news, though. Temporary. Just temporary. And it's because there's some good news, really good news, that there's bad news. and then there'll be good news again. You got it? Neumi Hers is off the market momentarily because it was oversold so incredibly much that they took it off for a little while. So if you're looking to get Neumi Hers, ladies, you have to wait a little bit. They'll have it back probably within, I would assume within 30 days, they'll have more of it on the market again. But it was a really, really great product, or is a great product. Ladies really liked it. I've been hearing so many good stories about it. And certainly with the regular Neumi NutraSwish, I do this 3 times a day. It keeps my energy up. It's a glutathione, hydrostat nanoparticle glutathione. Goes right under your tongue, goes right into your bloodstream, and gets to work at helping your liver do its job, which is detoxification and helping you deal with oxidative stress, because glutathione is the master antioxidant. And they also have added in this product, they've added turmeric as well. So you get glutathione and turmeric. Turmeric is really good, and Bruce can tell you his back pain went away after he started taking it.
Inflammation.
And the
all
inflammation
that stuff,
is what turmeric does. It reduces inflammation, and it went away. So really, really great product. We highly encourage you to have a look at it. And of course, we have the Neumi Skin, which Bruce and I are always spraying our faces with this stuff. And, that's why we look so young and spry. Look, there you go. See, look at that skin, how smooth it is. Ladies are finding out, Bruce, this is really cool, that they can go without makeup. A lot less makeup, and some are going without makeup at all, because what this Neumi Skin does, it tightens the pores, brightens the skin, so again brings the color up and gives you a nice rosy glow. And a lot of ladies are saying, I don't need makeup. This is
help reduce or eliminate dark spots, things like that.
Yep.
If you can just go to the website, and there's pictures before and after of the people using the Neumi Skin stuff. That's one of the great things about Neumi. They could have kept it on and just said, oh, it's back ordered, but there was such a huge demand or huge sellout when they introduced that product. I think it was in November when they brought that product out, and it's just just flew off the shelf. They couldn't keep it. They weren't expecting it to be that well. So rather than just saying, oh, it's back order, and then you sit there twiddling your thumbs and have people get torqued off. So they said, hey, we're just going to put a pause on this. We're going to temporarily take it off of their website until they can replenish. So just be patient there. But you can, the skin and the swish are still available. There's plenty of that.
Joey's saying his lady's going to be very upset that it's not on the market right now, but it'll be back soon enough. They're going to work on it for sure. The demand is high. It's a really great product.
I got a couple of bottles on the black market. I might be able to work out a deal.
You can sell it for twice the money,
Help paper my trip to Arizona.
All righty. Let's play this clip from our buddy.
Thank you.
Do you know how much he spent in advertising with Fox News?
Probably a shit ton of money.
You will not believe the number. You will not believe the number.
In the tens of millions or just millions?
Close to $1 billion with a B.
Good grief.
Yeah. This is not an easy decision. They were pushed to get rid of it because he buys a lot of advertising. He buys a lot of airtime with Fox News. He's the only network that was really still carrying him, other than obviously Real America's Voice. Newsmax, I think, still is as well. But Fox News was certainly by far the biggest audience. Almost $1 billion in advertising, and you cancel that account? What are you, stupid?
Yeah, obviously they are. And breaking news! This just came out. Brett Baer of Fox News has just called the 2024 election for Biden. So Biden won.
There you go.
According to Brett Baer. Yeah. Fucking idiot.
That's when I stopped watching. By the way, I don't go to their website, and sometimes we use Fox News clips here. I only use them when I find them on X. I never go to their website ever.
Yeah.
I completely have stopped. And I encourage everyone, if you can, wean yourself off, because I know it's a habit, to stop watching it. There's no point. They are clearly not on our side.
No.
And
I believe he's right. It was probably some of the Lou Dobbs thing. There's probably other people behind the scenes pushing. But yeah, Lou Dobbs was a big financial guy over there on the Fox Business, and he got canned for not towing the line. a little while back. And so he's been kind of floating around doing a freelance thing. So now he has a show on Frank's Speech or Lindell TV. So go and support Mike. I don't have, everybody else and their brother has code for
well,
for
we're going to
MyPillow,
we're going to get a code. We're going to contact them this week, and we're going to make sure we get a code. We actually don't even care if we make any financial off
well,
of
that's
it.
the thing. Just go and buy their shit. It's
Yeah.
awesome stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the sheets. I mean, almost everything in my house that I can buy from. The towels are amazing. The slippers, the MyPillow slippers are I wear those damn things everywhere.
Same here.
Everywhere. Seriously.
All day. Yeah.
The sheets, the pillow toppers, the pillows. Every pillow on my bed is a MyPillow. So I mean, I don't need a code. Just go and support Mike. He's spent millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. All this stuff. You can go to frankspeech.com. They got the app everywhere. There's news stuff on there. If you're looking for a replacement for Fox News, go to Frank Speech, Lindell TV. They got great stuff. I mean, they got Emerald Robinson is on there. They got Lou Dobbs now. All kinds of good people
Emerald
on their
Robinson
show.
was another one that got kicked off her network.
Yep.
She got kicked
Yeah,
off.
she was with
then,
Newsmax because she was a thorn in the side, man. She was bringing the heat in the White House briefing room or the press room or whatever. Yeah, they threw her to the curb.
and then he picked
she,
her up right away. I mean, the same day he called her and he said, "I want you."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And her Substack is always fire. She's always bringing the heat, and she was right about a lot of things in the past as well.
Yep, no question. I'm like you. I have my pillow, everything. I've got pillows, mattress toppers, sheets, slippers, towels. I mean, we've got the kitchen towels. They just came in, and we had 4 rental properties here, and my pillow stuff everywhere throughout. And the renters loved it. So there's very few people who don't like the My Pillow pillows. A couple of people like we ran into didn't like them, but for the most part, they're great.
Well, I've noticed there's a difference. You can get soft, medium, or a little bit more firm.
Yep.
So I got I got a couple of them. I got one of the king ones. That one's a little more firm. I like a little more firmish on my pillow. My wife, Natalie, she likes hers a little softer. So she's got the little smaller one, the queen one, I think, and that's a little bit, softer. But the fill in there, I love it. I take it and I shake the pillow and it's all good. And then I can snuggle in and get, nest into it.
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing. The MyPillow, if you have not tried a MyPillow pillow, you're missing out.
Worthwhile. Absolutely worthwhile.
Absolutely.
So what do you think about him getting kicked off of Fox News in an election year? Those things aren't coincidental, are they?
No, not at all. I mean, he's been huge. I mean, you go to there, he's had the absolute proof and all these absolute different things. He's been detailing from the very inception. There's many people that say he's, really connected with Trump and feeding him information with some of the data and different things that Space Force has. But he's been canceled out of all these different stores, taking his stuff out. Bed Bath and Beyond, I think, went bankrupt after they kicked out Mike Lindell. They'd been debanked out there in Minnesota, where his headquarters is.
Yep.
Debanked. He's just been the tip of the spear when it comes to elections.
The banks that wanted to debank him. It was like they did not want the negative publicity. They did not want people coming after them. And, they get all these people calling and threatening. And why the big box stores canceled him was because they set up a bunch of call centers to call and complain. And these weren't even actual customers; they were just call centers.
No.
They're calling into the customer support of Bed Bath and Beyond and all these other big box stores.
If you don't get rid of Mike Lindell, I'm not going to shop there anymore.
That's right.
Bunch of frickin' bots. Bunch of basement dwelling dweebs.
Yeah.
And this very small percentage of people, but they
didn't catch on that every one of them was from India. I not shop there anymore. You got rid of my pillow. I know you're going to shop there. I shouldn't do that's a bad accent. I shouldn't do that one. Sorry, guys.
It's not that bad.
I apologize. So Michael Flynn had this post on X today. The American people need to cancel Fox News. This is a culture. This culture of censorship exists because why? They don't like Donald Trump. They don't like the American people. They don't like America. Which is it? Or is it all of the above? Keep in mind, Paul Ryan is at the helm. And all those associated with him want nothing more than to keep the establishment status quo in Washington, D.C. If we have an election, look at this, if we have an election November 24, we've got to get out in droves to vote for real Donald Trump. Like him or not, he will fight to protect the Constitution and protect safety and security of all Americans. If we have an election.
Yeah, I like how you dropped that in there. If.
Mm-hmm.
Should be capitalized and bold.
Yep.
But yeah, Paul Ryan. See, the Fox, they're not. They put this thing on. We're fair and balanced. We report, you decide. They were put this conservative image, but they're establishment. They're the establishment. Paul Ryan and his likes. They're the establishment. The GOP, the Rhino, the Uniparty. That's what Fox represents. They don't. Donald Trump is for we the people. And that they don't like that because then they lose control.
It's really,
So to answer his question,
decision.
It's Donald Trump. Yeah,
it's
not about America.
Decision, right? If you're a businessman, you own this company, and you do a little bit of a survey, and you say, okay, who are the people who watch this programs or watch our network? Who are they? What do they believe? Let's ignore all of that and let's go over here.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to make that kind of decision. So there's got to be pressure at a different level because it's not coming from the management there, right? They got to be pressured from higher up.
BlackRock,
yeah, the people who own them, right?
Yep.
They're investors.
Right. And that's what you talked about, the business decisions, these stupid things like Bud Light. Dylan Mulvaney and going all rainbow for Bud Light. Suicide, you might as well just go ahead and cut your throat. Same thing with Target. But these are guys are promised capitalization and funding from these BlackRock types if they participate in the DEI and the ESG type of protocols that they're wanting to push on everybody. And that includes the media. I mean, all media companies are owned by 6 companies. Every single, media, newspaper, anything having to do with normal media is owned by 6 companies. And there's probably, go a little Jason Q on you. There's probably all connected to the Jews, right? If you want to just be honest about it, there's some evidence you can follow the trail of ownership to the Jews, the bad Jews, the Khazarians.
Yeah, well, the globalists, right? So it's that whole community there that wants to have ultimate power and control every decision in our lives, and we see that here a lot in California. We call it the nanny state, right? Because the California government's trying to make decisions for you because they don't believe you're smart enough to make decisions for yourself, which goes against the fabric of America. America is what? You have the freedom to pursue what?
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
The pursuit of happiness. You're able to pursue your happiness. So whatever it is that makes you happy, you're free to do it. Not in California. Right?
But you don't know what makes you happy.
Go take a frisbee where frisbee was invented in California and go throw it on the beach. I'll throw you in jail.
No shit, really?
No frisbee playing on the beach.
But you don't know what happiness is. Only they know.
Only they
know what happiness is. And happiness is that you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. That's what Klaus Schwab said. You're going to own nothing and be happy. So they obviously know what makes us happy.
They have to.
Yeah, bless America.
Oy vey. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you. Hey, how about getting a cool jacket? This is a cool jacket.
I love mine.
Screwbiggov.com/swag if you want to look as good as Lewis and in that jacket. That is an embroidered logo. It's not just printed, it's embroidered.
Yeah.
And the jacket, according to Lewis, is pretty rainproof. You can go into the rain and not get wet. It is not a winter jacket, but is certainly a late fall, early spring jacket, and it'll keep you warm. And, of course, that hoodie does not come with it, but the jacket is absolutely beautiful.
No, yeah,
Screwbiggov.com/swag.
Some fuzzy on the inside. Yeah, it's not quite. It's a little heavier than a windbreaker, but it's not quite a parka.
Right.
Right. So I mean, if you're in 35 degrees, like you said there this morning, that would probably be a little bit scant.
It was a little scant at 35 degrees. Yeah, I had a different jacket on this morning, but during the day it's fine. It's 40s and 50s here during the day. Perfect. That's exactly what you need it for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love mine.
All righty. Are there any words that can describe that? One on the left is the way it was, and the one on the right is how it will be. It doesn't even look like an American passport to me.
No. It's going to be our global passport. You're not going to, there is no countries anymore. They're moving ahead forward with that situation. Yep. So it's going to be a global passport. You'll be able to use that to go anywhere.
Yep. One person had remarked on X. I thought this was kind of interesting to this post, and they said, "Well, it just makes it easier to counterfeit them, to make fake versions of it, because the less layers of graphics there are, the easier it is to do that." So I thought, well, that's an interesting idea. But I think you're right. I think they want to homogenize it. They want to remove anything that is patriotic. Because in their minds, the patriotic people, us, all of us who love this country and love everything this country stands for, are a threat to them. Because we want this sovereign nation, we want this country to be the strongest, the best, the fastest, the most, whatever. And we're a threat to them because it goes against the grain that they're trying to create, which is a one world government. They want everyone to be homogenized, everyone to have the same rights, the same everything. And it's just not like that. It's not the way it's supposed to be. The United States is very unique because we have 50 states and each one is supposed to be a laboratory of trying government in a different way. It's the states' rights is so important. And a lot of that's been taken away. A lot of the rights are now being controlled by the federal government. And it's more homogenous now than it ever was. But I remember when I was growing up, you'd go to different states and things were very different in the states. Not so much anymore. Yeah, there are differences here and there. Maybe the accents are a little bit different, but the rules, the laws, everything is kind of the same. One thing that I found fascinating, Bruce, all the highways, why are they the same in all the states? Well, there's only 2 or 3 schools that these civil engineers graduate from. So they're all learning the same lessons. So the bad highways we have here in California are the same bad highways you have in New York. The same mistakes are being made.
Yeah. Even on the local level here in my county, there's one area of this road that they've been repairing, and it was right near a sewer manhole thing. And they would fix it. And then a couple months later, there'd be a big dip, there. So something was obviously, failing underneath the ground. And it took them probably over a year before they finally decided, hey, maybe we should fix this right. And so they tore it up. It took them like a month for this area. It was probably 10 foot by 10 foot for them to dig it up and shore up and do it on underneath there. And so since they've done that, but it's good. Yeah, these engineers, the engineers that make cars, it's just, there's no common sense. I mean, they build the entire car around the oil filter. You got to dismantle, remove the engine sometimes to get to some of this stuff. It's just
I love that line. They build the car around the oil filter.
Yeah. It's 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. And so, just the logic and common sense of how things work. And I know there's way better technology that we can be using for our roads and different things.
Yeah.
That can, make them longevity, but it's a perpetual spending around here, I-4 heading from Tampa to Orlando. That's perpetually under construction. And by the time they get that construction project on, population has increased, and then the widening or doing whatever to accommodate the extra traffic is, obsolete now. So they got to continue. They're just dumb as a box of rock.
Yeah. Well, all of our roads.
You wonder if it's on purpose.
Well, it's government, right? So it's the same deal. Same deal. So I don't know about these passports. I don't know if I like this or not. I'm not a fan.
I'm glad I got one of the good ones.
Yeah, I got one of the good ones too. It's good for another 5 years, right?
Yeah. I just got mine last year, so I'm good for 10 years. I think till 2030.
10 years, maybe, right? I think they're good for. Yeah.
I think 10 years, yeah.
Yeah. I love this headline. It says Fanny has been spanked. I love they're fun over there at Zero Hedge. Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis, who has charged Donald Trump and 18 co-defendants with trying to change the outcome of the 2020 election in Georgia, has become the main attraction in a major prong of the left's 2024 lawfare operation. Really is a lawfare operation if you think about it. It's exactly what they're calling it here. I think it's the right thing. House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan, whose picture you saw there, has launched an investigation into Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor in the Trump Georgia case, who has been accused of making more than $650,000 off the case, during which he and Willis took lavish vacations together. But there's nothing nefarious going on here. Now Wade's wife has alleged in divorce documents that he failed to disclose over $700,000 in earnings from the county and has continued to draw from her bank account, leaving it routinely overdrawn despite the clear inequity in financial circumstances, the Daily Caller reports. Wade filed to divorce his stay-at-home wife of 20 years on November 2nd. The day after, Fannie hired him as a special prosecutor in the Trump case. Oh my God. It's Jerry Springer in Georgia is what's going on here. He had the divorce sealed on February 10th, 2022, according to the 127-page filing by Trump co-defendant Michael Roman. So she goes out, this Fannie Willis, goes out and charges Trump and 18 other co-defendants in Georgia. And now her life gets scrutinized, and you find out what? You find out that it's a Jerry Springer show all of a sudden. It's crazy. Oh, sometimes you just can't make this stuff up. You look at these stories and you say, this can't be. But I'm looking at it from this perspective, that they had the upper hand last year, and they were pushing against us, and it's taken us a little while to get our bearings or getting our footing, because we never thought they'd go this far. But now that we're getting our bearings, we're getting our footing back, now we're starting to push back. And what are we seeing? We're seeing these things are going to fall apart pretty quickly. My hunch is a lot of these cases will be dismissed because they can't really be followed through on.
No.
Are you having challenges with the stream?
Yeah, my laptop crashed again. I don't know why. It's a brand new laptop. It just turns on and says there's something with the media, and I've checked into kind of stuff on it. So it seems to be, I had to restart it, and it's back up again on my channel. So if people are wondering, that's what happened.
What happened to Bruce? He's there, then he's not there.
Yeah, it just freezes up because then the computer shuts down. But once I fire it back up, the stream picks up again. So I apologize. I got to look into the laptop. Maybe I have to reset it. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a brand new Legion Big Mac, Mac Daddy gaming laptop, so it should have all the bells and whistles and should be able to handle a stream.
Could be a bad driver, could be a bad hard drive. It could be, there's different things that could happen when a computer is interesting because they don't fail later in life. They tend to fail right up front. So the first 2 weeks of a computer's life is the most likely point they're going to fail. If you get past that, then they tend to work for, 3 to 5 years normally the way they're supposed to. But they fail right up front, which is kind of the reverse of what you think of anything else.
Yeah. Well, I was having some issues with my main computer.
Mm-hmm.
It would just shut down in the middle. I could do anything all day, but as soon as I start live streaming, it would just shut down. And then I replaced the fan and the heat sink. I got this big old massive 6-pipe copper doodah thingamajig and put that on there. And I haven't had a lick of problems since. Yep. So that was the problem. Was the fan and the CPU heat sink was just heating up too much because I'm pushing out too much fire and information.
Yeah, when you're streaming, the computer I have here is the tower is almost 30 inches tall. So yeah, you need a lot of fans and you need a lot of cooling and a lot of power in these things because I'm pushing multiple streams and I've got Zoom coming in on one side and there's just a lot going on. There's 4 computers that run this show. So when people say, "Hey, why you can't figure out the error?" Well, it's got 4 computers running here.
Yeah, no. But the Fannie Willis thing, it's just comical.
It's beyond comical.
And then, I don't even know if did you mention in while I was trying to deal with that there is evidence now that they were communicating with the White House.
No, I didn't mention that part. Yeah, you're right. I did see that later on. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was you could just to tell you how much of a sham that whole thing is. On X, there was a video from the person who was allegedly the foreperson of the grand jury, and she seemed like she was like 12 years old. Didn't seem very, very, very young, and just very giddy about wanting to subpoena Trump and getting an opportunity to swear him in. If you haven't seen that one, just shows you the comical of this whole grand jury situation.
Did you personally want to hear from the former president? I wanted to hear from the former president, but honestly, I kind of wanted to subpoena the former president because I got to swear everybody in. And so I thought it'd be really cool to get 60 seconds with President Trump of me looking at him and being like, "Do you solemnly swear?" and me getting to swear him in. I kind of just thought that would be an awesome moment. Did you personally want to hear from the former
So does that seem or sound... Stop, shut up. Does that seem or sound like somebody who's really interested in finding out the facts?
Oh, no, no.
She was the grand she was the foreperson of the grand jury that they came and brought us evidence in front of, allegedly.
Yep.
Come on.
All right. We switch to some fun stuff here.
Yeah.
No, let's do this story first. We're gonna be out of order for a moment here. No, this is actually, yeah. We'll do the story first, and then we'll jump into the fun stuff, because I know people are here for the fun. They're not here for the news. So this is Hertz, and here they are. They're going to sell 20,000 used electric cars as it pivots back to gas-fueled cars. When two of our team members came to San Diego, they were given an electric car, and they didn't realize it was an electric car. They went to the gas station to fill it up, and they were like, "Where the hell's the gas tank?" And they couldn't
Where's
find
the hole?
it.
Yeah.
And they was running out of battery, because it was showing it was nearly empty. And then they were like, "Well, we got to find a charging station." And when they found the charging station, it was 8 hours to charge it all the way up. And they needed it to do what we needed to do for the Truth Tours, running all over the place. They couldn't do it. So they had to go back to the airport, turn it in, and get a gas-powered car. It's like Hertz Global Holdings, once a leading advocate for electrifying its vehicle fleet, has announced plans to offload approximately a third of its U.S. vehicles, citing sluggish demand and burdensome maintenance costs. Hertz began the sale of 20,000 electric vehicles last month. The elevated costs associated with EVs persisted, stated Hertz CEO Stephen Scher. Efforts to wrestle it down proved to be more challenging than anticipated.
Huh.
I wonder why.
Even all the government subsidy, they couldn't make it through. I mean, God bless America. That's all it is the money shifting. It's transfer of wealth and the subsidies from the government.
Yep.
I mean, there's no sustainability. I mean, the cost. I mean, it's common sense. It costs more fossil fuel to generate the electricity to charge these things than they're worth. Ford or some of the major car manufacturers are bailing out and changing plants and moving away from the EV situation. I've seen pictures of people having these electric cars and their plug stations. They're just overcome with snow. I mean, and then there was you've seen the pictures. I'm sure everybody has all these different charging stations, and it's like flooded. There's water everywhere. And then the top of the thing, the meme says, and you think smoking at the pump was a hazard? So it's a failed situation. I mean, I'm all for, responsible environmental, type stuff, but this technology is just not there yet.
It never will be electric until you fix the battery issue, because a lithium-ion type battery that they're using in these cars has a limited life cycle. You can only charge it so many cycles before the battery fails, and the battery is the most expensive part of that car, $35,000 plus for on a Tesla to replace the batteries. It's not sustainable. Really not sustainable.
Right, and then the reason you want to get an EV is because you're all green. You want to save the planet. Well, then what do you do with all those, forked up and useless batteries? I mean, I've seen pictures of EV graveyards or electric scooter graveyards and these different things. And on top of that, they're, using children to mine all that lithium over in China and Africa and all these different places. So, I mean, it's bad business all around. No good for humanity.
Well, they can't be recycled either, because once you crush them, they explode. So, oops, little detail. Yeah. Just a little detail. All right. A psychologist reveals the 10 signs that the person you're dating is insanely clever. How would you know? Interested in finding out?
Sure, because I've never played in the dating game. I mean, I was 16 when I got married, and I'm still married to her now. So I never got to experience the dating
forget
situation.
about the dating. Just if you meet somebody over coffee, a friend or whatever, just forget about the dating idea.
Okay.
There's a lot of people on here probably aren't dating or beyond the dating age. This was in the Daily Mail. I thought this was kind of interesting to look at the 10 signs a person that you're talking to is insanely clever. I only have 5 here. I wonder what the other 5 are. Number 1, they're highly curious and inquisitive. I know a lot of people like that. We wouldn't do this show if we weren't. You and I. We're always asking questions, right? Number 2, they're highly self-aware. Yep, clearly. Not vain, but self-aware, right? They have a healthy dose of skepticism. Do we have any skepticism? Are we skeptical at all? Pretty much, right? Yeah. We don't believe everything that comes across.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we've got
Don't even believe me.
Believe me, I'm skeptical. Right? I'm going to see if I could find the rest of them here while we continue with number 5. They recognize patterns that other people miss. This is really critical in the business that we're in. That's why I picked this thing up. I thought it was kind of interesting. So routinely missing patterns is very common when people are, they're focused on whatever they're doing and they're not really looking at the bigger picture. We always look at, okay, we've got this and we've got this. And then we start looking for what's the trend or what's the pattern here and how does this match that? So it's important to be able to do that, especially with what's going on right now, because it helps us discern what's truthful and what's not a lot quicker than waiting for someone to kind of prove it or disprove it. We can figure it out pretty quickly. The October 7th attack in Israel, for instance, within an hour, I was already like, this isn't the right story. What they're telling us is not true. Why? Because we recognize patterns and we can discern and we can figure things out really quickly, right?
Yep.
They have a good sense of humor. I don't know. Do I have a good sense of humor? Do you have a good sense of humor?
I try, man.
Yeah, you're pretty funny there, Bruce.
I don't know. Do I?
I love it. I love it.
Have
Number
some
6,
fun,
they're comfortable not knowing. Intellectuals have an unquenchable thirst for knowledge, but they also tend to be okay and even take comfort in the fact that they will never know everything. Well, gee, if we didn't, right? I think that's kind of an important one for everybody. They're great at problem solving. Audio is not working. I'll figure out the problem, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they're adaptable and flexible. Yep. We're both, all of us are that here. They're comfortable with the gray areas. Well, we kind of live in the gray area, don't we? The key is not everything in life is black and white, as Lewis and I have been talking about for a long time. You're kind of pitched the idea that everything's either right or wrong, and there's a lot of gray areas in between. So we know we're not turned off by the gray areas. Not every problem has a single clear-cut answer. We know that. Obviously, in this world we're playing in right now. And number 10 is they prefer substantive conversations. How's the weather, dude? Yeah, I'm kind of bored. Next. Let's talk about something that matters, huh? Okay. I thought that was just a little bit of fun. Okay. Here's another fun one for you, Bruce, as he's adjusting his microphone.
You know what I just found out, too?
What would you find out?
I had a background, a virtual background, but I don't have no green screen behind me.
Uh-huh.
And I looked over and there's like this weird blue thing because I know when I pulled this out and I pulled it on, the blue was really weird. And I was like, what's going on? So I checked and I don't have my green screen up, but I still had the background on my Zoom app.
Uh-huh.
So it had the background with my logo that I was using for a different thing I was doing the other day and never turned it off. So now if you notice in the background, it's different. The blue is when I switch it off and on. So I apologize. This just shows you we're not professional.
We're not as professional as you think we are. We just make it look good.
All right. Takes a few seconds, but can you see the difference when I turn that on and off?
Let me make you full screen so I can see more. Okay, do it now.
So this is with the background on. So now it's not going to do it to me. Is that on? Yeah, that's on. The background for my logo, and then this is off. You can see the difference.
The blue
change on the
changes,
picture.
yeah. I wonder what was flashing there. I saw something flash.
We're just a couple of squirrels trying to get nuts, man. We're not Fox News, obviously.
Yeah, not quite. So I knew this was coming. And here it is. Men, get this. Your unjected wife is waiting. So there's a dating service now. I love their copy here. Unjected was born out of the need for Moderna-free singles to find each other and connect with uncompromised DNA. They have brought together many couples, which have resulted in engagements, weddings, and a new generation of genetically intact babies.
Pure bloods, man. Pure bloods.
Pure bloods, baby. There's a site for pure bloods. Now you can find them. You don't have to guess anymore. But how would you know?
Well,
Could they just lie about it?
They could.
They could.
Absolutely. But there's also a guy that was a while back that had, came his 15 minutes of fame. He had a big Facebook group because he was pure blood sperm, is a big thing. I mean, going forward, we know there's studies and different things now coming out where those spike proteins are attacking that, and it's going to eventually cause problems in with birthing.
Yep.
The population growth, having children and things like that in the future. These crazy evil eugenicists, getting us every way they can. So yeah. I was even considering going, because I had a vasectomy a long time ago, go and get a vasectomy reversal. And if I can make a whole bunch of money with pure blood
it'll
sperm,
pay for the operation,
Yeah, it's only like 20. I looked into it seriously. It's only like $2,500 to have the reversal, vasectomy reversal.
Woof. Woof. TMI there, Bruce. Maybe just a little.
Hey man, I'm an entrepreneur. If there's a way I can make a buck.
Here's Bite. Oh, the love. There's so much love there. I don't know what to say. He's such a great president, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Well, they have an ad for the White House out. I kind of like this.
Oh
one.
yeah, the Trump ad one.
No, this is a senior living at the White House.
I thought Trump
this.
put that out.
White House Senior Living, where residents feel like presidents.
Where residents feel like presidents. Does it get any better than that?
Nice.
Oh, brother. Yeah, well,
Did you notice in the Mike Lindell clip you played, he said, our real president?
Yeah.
And
I think
Flynn said,
go ahead.
Flynn said, if we have a 2024. Flynn said, if we have a 2024.
That was Flynn. Yep.
Yeah.
If we have a 2024 election. So, yeah, I think 107 said we've got to act as if we are going to have it, because the worst thing we can do is tell people not to vote. And, we're just act as if until we hear differently. Guess that's the best advice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, until something else. And then we just can't, we have to overwhelm them, right?
Yep.
And here's the thing, too. Coming up on Monday is the Iowa caucuses, the very first primary type of situation. And do you think HARP is being activated because there's a massive, massive storm coming through there, and they're estimating like a negative 45 degrees on Monday, which is the day that they caucus. So you think that the deep state and the HARP is activating some weather warfare there to have some effect on the Iowa caucuses?
Been saying that. This may be happening. Yep.
Just things to make you go,
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell us about your pets, Bruce, before we wrap up for today, because you want to get an opportunity to invite people. We had a great conversation yesterday, Lewis, you and I, and we had a great call with Kurt and Christy yesterday.
Kristen.
Yeah, Kristen.
Yep, Kurt and Kristen Ludlow.
Yep.
He's the vice president of sales for the company of Pet Club 247. And the products are just amazing. The testimonials, the things that we're seeing, evidence, right? This isn't some type of, fake, phony, and false stuff, because animals don't understand or know about the placebo effect, right? So the company has supplements and food and toys and treats for our animals that are safe. They're healthy, helps boost and modulate the immune system so that the animals can heal themselves. Autoimmune diseases. The foods, we talked about this yesterday. The foods, if you have missed that show, go back and watch it. But the three companies that make all the dog food and stuff, Smuckers, Nestle, and Mars, all candy companies. Our animals are sugar addicts. No wonder they get obese. No wonder they're eating more food and they're all these different things, and the food is horrible. Look up. If you question me, go look up the Animal Planet documentary, Pet Fooled, Fooled, Fooled. Go look up that documentary. It'll show you everything. And if you're feeding your pet foods and treats from the regular store, from these big box stores, you got to stop. You got to look at other options. And so go to healthyswitch.petclub247, healthyswitch.petclub247. Got a piece of hair from that wig thing in my mouth. But yeah, the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, amazing stuff. Go check it out. You will not be disappointed. Do your own research.
I'm just looking at the link here. I'm going to put it up here so people can see it, because sometimes, there you go. healthyswitch.petclub247.com.
Boom. Thank you very much.
Boom. And you can look
fuzz
for
in my mouth.
You can look for not just the stuff for pets, but they also have a tab on there for humans. That's you and me. Just in case you need to be reminded.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, the mushroom is good for in my case, so if you can imagine it can do that for an animal, you can imagine what it could do for a human, and it certainly is worthwhile taking a look at for those of you who you love, your family members and such that may be suffering from such things. No harm in trying, right? I always say, give it a shot. You never know what's going to happen.
We got to pull out of this matrix and stop funding these people that are run by BlackRock. I mean, that's the pet stuff. The other stuff that I'm doing with the Switch USA, that's all. It's all working towards the same stuff. We got to pull out of the matrix as much as we can.
Yep, absolutely. All righty, my friend. Do you have anything else to share before we wrap up our show for this weekend? I know everyone is like, no, don't go yet. We just crossed over 600 viewers, which is always funny. Toward the end, it starts to go up.
Yeah, right.
We should maybe stay another hour.
All right, no, that was the thing. Just the caucuses on Monday. That I wanted to bring forward that weather warfare situation, because that's just look at it. Just look into it, right? I'm just putting things out and asking questions. I don't have answers. I don't know what's going on, but I know that there's something going on. So that we just got to be more diligent and And then the convoy thing, share that out. TakeOurBorderBack.com. That's probably the most important thing that's coming up here soon. TakeOurBorderBack.com. Share that everywhere you can. TakeOurBorderBack.com.
Cool. I'll be on the San Diego leg of that. You'll be in the Arizona leg, and it looks like Denise both Denises are going to be on the Florida leg of it. So that'll be fun. Many of our team members will be part of it. Lewis is also going to be. I think he's going to be in Arizona. Is that where he's going to be?
Yep.
He's going to be in the Arizona leg.
Yeah, and that's Yuma, Arizona. The website says Tucson, but it's
Yuma.
going to be Yuma. Yeah, there were some situations. The sheriff wasn't friendly. So we found the sheriff that's friendly in Yuma to our situation. We didn't want to be thrown in jail with the cartel members. So, we changed that location because, the number one thing, we're going to be right there on the border in the cartel. It's not a walk in the park there. It's not, it's dangerous.
Yep.
And the guys down there like Mark and John Alexander and many of the other people that are down there doing the work to expose Ben Berquam, all these different people. It's not a safe situation. You don't want to go down there on a Sunday afternoon and have a picnic with your children.
No. And we saw that from Lewis's visit down there. We saw, what craziness is happening. And, it's just stunning that the media has kept America in the dark with it all. Mm-hmm. And now we're just waking up and going, we've got all these people in here. Where'd they all come from? Well, it's been happening. Where you guys been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're probably upwards over my guesstimate is upwards over 50 million probably. Because how many years did we hear these DACA people and they talked about 11 million, right, for the DACA people, and now
those are just the children. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
No. So now over the past 3 years, we're probably in upwards, close in that 30 to 50 million range of illegals in our country. And most are probably okay. Not okay, but not criminal, not nefarious intent. But now more and more, the thing, that one statement that I heard that kind of made me go, is if you're fleeing some oppressive regime, looking for some asylum, wouldn't you think you'd bring your wife and your children with you? But at the people are showing up at the border, it's just men.
Just men.
Where's the women and children? If they're when you go to escape or flee an oppressive situation, you take your family with you. When you go off to war, the men go by themselves.
Right.
I'm gonna end it right there.
Yep. Pay attention, people. There's craziness going on out there. I don't know that there's an easier way to share that with you, but we're aware now, and we're gonna do what we can to make more and more people aware, because that's how we'll turn the tide. When more people are aware of it, we'll finally get to a point where we put our foot down. And I don't know, will it look like Germany? Will it look like Brazil? Will it look like another country? Which, remember, we have an armed citizenry. We're one of the few countries where the citizens are actually armed. And it's probably the only reason why we haven't gone full communism yet. But they're working hard on that. So
Yeah.
we must pay attention.
Yes, sir.
All righty, folks. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much, Mr. Bruce. You did a great job as always, and thank you for your patience.
We overcome. We're overcomers of the challenges, technical and otherwise.
Yep,
so yeah,
thank
we
you
press
for your
on.
patience as we work out the technical details. Sometimes everything works. We test everything out before we go live, and then we hit the live button, and all of a sudden, it's like, what in the world?
All of a sudden.
Yep. We're talking, and then we're not talking. What is going on? All right, friends, we will be back Monday with another show. Can't wait to bring you the news on Monday because, boy, we expect a busy weekend.